There comes a moment in every sincere seeker's life when the world begins to feel like a shadow, fleeting, incomplete, and somehow distant from the truth our soul longs to touch. In that silence between thoughts, in the pause between breaths, a subtle question begins to rise: is God real? Or is this longing just a dream wrapped in centuries of belief? And if God is real, where is He? Why can't we see Him, hear Him, feel Him, as clearly as we see the rising sun or the face of one we love? To this eternal thirst, Mahavatar Babaji, the immortal yogi of the Himalayas, offers not just comfort, but revelation. With eyes that have seen the birth and death of galaxies, and a heart merged with the cosmic spirit, Babaji once said to a disciple with utter certainty, "You can see God more clearly than you see the world if you practice deeply." These are not poetic words to be admired, they are directions to a hidden door within you. Behind the noise of the senses, beyond the veils of thought, lies a dimension where God is not believed in. He is known. He is not distant. He is closer than your breath, nearer than your heartbeat. In this journey, we will walk step by step through the ancient teachings of Babaji, uncovering how to experience God, not after death, not in scriptures, but here, now, within. The mystery of God is not far. It lives in you. Let us begin the sacred uncovering. Let us remember who we truly are. Let us walk the path from illusion to illumination. To understand God, we must first unlearn what the world has taught us. God is not an old man in the sky, nor a distant ruler seated upon a throne of clouds. Babaji, the timeless master who lives beyond time, gently tells his disciples, God is not a form, but the formless essence that gives rise to all forms. He is not outside you, He is the very substance of your soul. Imagine a boundless ocean, still, deep, and eternal. Each wave upon it is a passing form, but the ocean itself remains unchanged. In the same way, God is the ocean of consciousness, and every being, every atom, every galaxy is but a ripple upon that sacred surface. He is not seen through the eyes, but perceived in stillness. He is not heard through the ears, but felt in silence. Babaji reminds us, God is the breath behind all breath, the light behind all light, the love behind all love. He is the intelligence that causes the heart to beat, the flower to bloom, the stars to move in perfect harmony. He is not bound by any one religion or language. He is the infinite, eternal presence, experienced by the sages in all ages. And yet, the greatest mystery of all is this: the one who created the entire universe is quietly dwelling within you, closer than your thoughts, deeper than your emotions, waiting not to be worshipped from afar, but to be realized in the sanctuary of your own heart. This is not a metaphor. It is the supreme truth, hidden in plain sight. If God is within us, closer than breath, nearer than thought, then why does He seem so far? Why, in the silence of our longing, do we feel a void instead of the divine embrace? Babaji, the eternal light of the Himalayas, lovingly answers this question with the gentleness of a father and the clarity of a seer. It is not that God is hidden, Babaji teaches. It is your vision that is clouded. Picture a crystal clear lake at dawn. When still, it reflects the heavens perfectly. But let the winds stir its surface, and the stars above vanish from view, though they have not moved. In the same way, our inner being is disturbed by constant movement, restless thoughts, endless desires, fears of the past, and anxieties of tomorrow. The mind, Babaji says, is a mirror, but most carry it dust-covered, cluttered with noise, attachments, and the ego's endless chatter. How can the infinite be seen through such a fog? It is not absence, but interference. Not distance, but distortion. We chase pleasures, achievements, identities, but none of them reveal God. The senses point outward, God waits inward. The world shouts, God whispers. Babaji, reminds his disciples with compassion. You must quiet the vines of the mind. You must clean the mirror with a cloth of meditation, humility, and stillness. Then, as the inner fog lifts, the light that was always there will begin to shine. The divine is not lost. We have simply turned our gaze away. But turn inward, and you will find that God has never left. He is watching, patiently, from the silence within. To reach the summit of a sacred mountain, one must walk, not just believe in the mountain's presence. Similarly, to realize God, belief alone is not enough. One must take up the inner journey, guided by discipline, devotion, and divine grace. Mahavatar Babaji, the ageless master who resides in perfect stillness beyond the veils of time, lovingly shares the path with those who are ready. He says, God is not found by chance. He is realized through a burning desire and patient effort, sustained through lifetimes or focused in a single lifetime of surrender. The path begins in silence, not the absence of sound, but the stillness where truth speaks. Meditation, Babaji teaches, is the royal road inward, the sacred practice where the seeker withdraws from the senses and enters the temple within. Sit in the cave of your heart, he says. Wait there, and the infinite will enter. But meditation alone is not enough. The vessel must be clean. Thus comes right living, a life of simplicity, truthfulness, and compassion. Every act done without selfishness becomes a step toward the divine. Then comes inner detachment, letting go of worldly cravings that cloud the soul's clarity. Do your duty, Babaji says, but remain untouched like the lotus upon water. And above all, the seeker must walk with a living guide, a guru who has seen the light and can lead others to it. A true master, Babaji reminds, is not your savior but your mirror, reflecting to you the God that sleeps within you. This is the path, not easy but eternal, not for the faint-hearted but for the lover of truth. And those who walk it shall one day behold the infinite face to face. When the veils of illusion are lifted and seeker touches the hem of the eternal, something irreversible occurs. Not a fleeting feeling or momentary bliss, but a complete inner transformation, a return to one's original state. Mahavatar Babaji, the silent guardian of the sacred Himalayas, describes this moment not with philosophy, but with the light of living experience. He says, when God is realized, doubt vanishes forever, not because you believe, but because you now know. This knowing is not of the mind, it is of the soul. The realized one no longer asks if God exists, just as a person standing in sunlight does not ask if the sun is real. The presence of the divine becomes as undeniable as one's own breath, as constant as the space around all things. Babaji shares, the one who has seen God walks the earth with feet in the world, but heart in the infinite. He laughs not because he is amused, but because he has found the joy that has no cause. Fear dissolves. The craving for approval, the hunger for possessions, the fear of death, all fade like mist before the morning sun. The realized soul sees every face as God's face, every sound as his voice, every movement as his dance. There is no more separation, only unity. No more seeking, only silent, overflowing gratitude. Babaji calls this state Jivan Mukti, liberation while living, a freedom so complete it cannot be disturbed even by the noise of the world. This is not a reward. It is the unveiling of what was always within you. God does not come from the outside, he awakens from within. One may wonder, is this sacred path meant only for yogis in caves, for sages draped in silence? We, who live amidst noise and duty, with families, burdens, and worldly chaos, can we truly touch the eternal? Mahavatar Babaji, in his boundless compassion, answers this not with theory, but with assurance etched in truth. He says, God is not limited by your location, your title, your business. He responds to the purity of your longing, not the outer conditions of your life. The eternal does not seek your perfection, he seeks your sincerity. Even the flicker of a true yearning, even one breath taken in remembrance, becomes the seed of awakening. Babaji reminds us, the divine is not reserved for renunciates. He is as close to the householder with a devoted heart as to the hermit in meditation. In a mother's silent prayer, in a laborer's honest sweat, in a student's yearning cry for truth, God listens. The modern world, with all its distractions, cannot imprison the soul that dares to turn inward. It is not about escaping life, but about entering it consciously. To live in the world, but not be of it. To carry the silence of the Himalayas in the marketplace. Babaji teaches that the temple of realization is not built with stone, it is carved within your awareness. So yes, dear one, this path is not only for saints, it is for you. If your heart dares to long for God, then your life, exactly as it is, can become the altar of the infinite. There comes a time when the journey turns inward, and the soul, weary from the world's glittering illusions, begins to remember its origin. In this quiet moment, the words of Mahavatar Babaji flow not as philosophy, but as sacred remembrance stirring the ancient knowing within you. Babaji whispers, "You are not just flesh and thought. You are a spark of the infinite, a child of the timeless light. You have wandered long enough. Now, return." This return is not to a place, but to your original nature, pure, unbound, divine. Babaji gently reminds us, the one you seek is already within you, closer than breath, deeper than time. Do not delay your meeting. He urges, let not another day pass in forgetfulness. Begin now, even with one breath offered in love, one silent tear of longing, one moment of true stillness. That is enough to awaken the current. No outer ritual is required. Just sincerity, just the courage to turn inward, and the humility to wait in silence. The divine does not ask you to climb mountains, but to descend into your own heart. Babaji's final message is clear, glowing with ageless wisdom. The door is already open. Walk through it. Live not as a seeker, but as one who has remembered. Let the outer world continue, but within you, let the sacred unfold. You were never separate. You have never been alone. The light you seek is already shining. Now, turn and see. And so, dear soul, we have walked, not through beliefs, but through the living current of truth that Mahavatar Babaji has poured out across the ages. You have heard his sacred whisper. God is real, and he can be realized. Not in some distant heaven, not after death, but now, within the very breath you are taking. We began with a question, can we truly know God? And we arrived at an answer not made of words, but of stillness. Yes, through longing, purity, and inner stillness, the veil can be lifted. Babaji has shown us that God is not outside, but the very core of our being. That the reason we do not feel him is not absence, but inner noise. That the path, through meditation, right living, detachment, and Guru's grace, is open to all, including you. And that the moment of realization is not the end, but the beginning of living as your true self. Before you leave this space, take a moment. Close your eyes, breathe gently, and in that breath, ask, what am I truly seeking? If this message resonated with your heart, I invite you. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. What touched you the most? Cherry Blossom, what topics would you like to explore next? Babaji's teachings on karma, soul purpose, Kriya Yoga, or divine silence? Subscribe to stay in this sacred current. Like this video if it brought you closer to yourself. And most importantly, carry this light with you. Live not as a seeker, but as one who has remembered.